So it can be tricky for procedural shows to stay fresh, but it feels like Castle has cracked it. So I mean, are you happy that the show's kept evolving and changing?
You know what? I think that's one of the things you can't help but evolve and change. I mean, this is the first time I've ever really been on a television show that suffered any kind of longevity like this. 4 years, the longest I've been on TV. So, just by virtue of having that kind of time, your characters go through experiences, relationships change. It always evolves, and I think that's just a happy byproduct that we can all invest in and continue with.
Mm. And obviously the Castle-Beckett relationship is central, and people always talk about, you know, the moonlighting curse. I mean, do you think that applies here, or?
That was always my fear, and shame on me, because I always think, you know, if you give the audience what they've been wanting, you finally give it to them, what is left to want? I mean, that's pretty much the end right there. But we're treating it like, and I'm hoping this is very clever. I'm thinking it's very clever. That this is not the end. This is actually the beginning. So what we've actually been witnessing is a long and protracted beginning, where we've been waiting for this to finally happen. All right, finally now we can get started. Here is now the beginning.
And Castle as a character, he kind of has to stay the same, you know, the same guy we love, but do you feel like he's grown?
Absolutely. You know, if you remember the first few episodes of Castle, this is a guy who really didn't care about people dying. He didn't seem to think that that was a problem. He was having so much fun because he was living his fantasy. He's very self-centered. He's very much a child. Success comes easy to him. He rides through life on his charm. He didn't seem to mind that murder affected people. But I think it's. I think he's growing up. I think there's still things that, you know, fundamentally will never change about him. But I think he is growing up.
And what's your interaction been like with Castle fans? Because I know you're quite sort of prevalent on Twitter and that kind of thing.
Twitter's great because, first of all, I don't get out very much. Twitter's a really nice, and I always say this about Twitter, I love the immediacy of it. You know, back when I was doing theater, if you do something all right, you get the applause, you get the oohs, the ahs, the laughter, what have you. It's very immediate. Much less audience applause in television. So the Twitter, it's a very nice way to see where the fans are at, just what matters, what entertains them. It's also a great place to try out new jokes.
How much longer do you think the show can run, and how much longer would you like to play this role?
That's a great question. I think something that you guys here do really, really well is take shows, have incredible stories, and then finish strong and wrap them up. And that's something I can really appreciate. What I don't want to see happen to Castle is I don't want to see it peter and die a slow death and be forced out. I would like to do 6 years, maybe 7 years, if it's strong enough at that point, and then wrap it up. 6 years would be great, wouldn't it? I mean, that's just even too much to ask for. But I would love to end strong.